Well, there is Sean Chipperfield and Carl Sutton, two of the finest players of English 8-ball anywhere on the planet. Former world champion, former world finalist in that pairing. And together, they have just been the pair to beat over the last 3 years. There's other pairs that have won this tournament, but there's no pair that can boast a record quite like these two. It's Chippy who's broken off. We are underway officially in this evening's action. Everyone will play each other tonight. We've got 4 pairs here this evening. Everyone plays each other. Top of the league at the end of those 6 matches will qualify through to the last 16. And Saxton and Wootton here at the table. And they've opted for reds. And you know this game by now. Pick your colour set, pot your balls, pop the 8-ball, win the frame. 4 of those will win you the match. And if we get all the way to 0 on the match clock, it started at 20, we will take the result as it is then, which means a draw is very much in play as well. And a decent early opportunity on these reds, but it would be a little bit of a statement clearance this, and yeah, that was a tougher shot than it perhaps looked with the body language there of when he was playing it. You know, that's a difficult shot. He looked calm and composed, but first chance for Carl and Sean to stamp their authority on tonight.
Yeah, they had a good chance on reds there. The first shot went a little bit wayward, but as we've discussed, you know, these short races and short match times, and you get chances like that against a pairing of Chippy and Carl's class, you need to be taking them out. So that was a first early chance.
Well, it wasn't a particularly easy first shot for Carl there, but he executed it beautifully, and now they're properly in at these yellows. It's an interesting dynamic, isn't it? Because we have seen plenty of groups so far in this tournament, and the one that you were in, Rob, was one of them where you really could pick a winner from absolutely anywhere and make a really good case for them. I think tonight you're hard pressed to make a case against these two, but if Sean continues to cue like that,
yeah, well,
you're going to struggle to win matches. Complete miscue from Chippy.
A dry break and a miscue in the first frame. I mean, yeah, definitely. Look, it's a really, you know, it's hard to make a case for these two not to get through tonight. No disrespect to the other pairings, you know, they can obviously all play and anything can happen, but Carl and Chippy are definitely big favourites, and it's hard to see past them. But like I say, you know, you need the run of the ball and you need things to go right, and like I say, dry break, first frame and a missed cue. They're short races, you don't get many of, you know, you don't get away with many of them mistakes. Got to feel that these reds need to go here, and it just shows that the lack of knowledge of the table, I believe there. You know, it's very slidey, it's very quick, it doesn't play like a normal table. You know, he's just dropped that ball in there to land on the red, and on here it just runs away. And you know, an early sign of inexperience on this table, I believe. That's a great effort, though.
What a tell you what.
What a shot.
That's an
Need another
absolute
special one.
Screamer of a shot, that.
Where's this going? Top bag, bit of pace. Might go close. No, he's...
Oh, I tell you what, it was online, wasn't it?
Wow.
So not to be for Duncan and Wayne. But, I mean, that is that's an unbelievable dig.
Very good shot. Couldn't do much with the cue ball there apart from play the shot. Where the red has landed, it's just made it a little bit awkward for...
Oh.
It's a great shot.
How well judged is that from Carl Sutton? You know, you talked about the lack of knowledge of the table and the inexperience for Saxton and Wootton. Well, two players who know this table inside out are Sean and Carl, and a shot like that in the opening frame just shows they've got the pace of this equipment absolutely instantly.
Yeah, it's a brilliant shot because they want ball in hand really before they go for this finish, and ball in hand would allow them to sort that problem yellow out straight away. So very tough to hit this as well. Hard to see whether he can, because it will be very slidey, so might have to come round off 4. It's a great effort, it's a great hit.
Oh, I'll tell you what, very, very impressive couple of shots been played, in particular from Wayne Wootton.
Yeah, he's done well to hit that there, but it has left a very clear opportunity for Carl and Chippy to get on the board. Quite interesting how I find it interesting how they talk a lot about the shots, and you know, they're both world-class players, and you know, it's sort of like you'd feel like they'd just get on with it and back themselves to clear up. But it's interesting that they talk all the way through the finish, and you know, it's good to understand each other, I suppose. And
well, it's always great to watch. I mean, from my perspective, obviously yours is slightly different, being an established pro player. But for me, I always enjoy watching players as good as these two really sort of get into the debate and sort of share some ideas, and because there's always more than one way to go in this game. It's part of the beauty of it, and Sean and Carl often navigate most of them, at least in discussion, before they get to their action. And you're absolutely right, they could easily not do that.
Yeah, and I think it's massive that they've got a great understanding amongst them both, and they're very good friends off the table. And
I think it helps as well that we've not really seen too much of it tonight so far, but we will. It probably helps a little bit that Sean Chipperfield is maybe the fastest player on the entire tour, and one of the fastest players in the world.
I think he's quite slow.
But the way that, but it's not just, you know, speed around the table and all the rest of it. The way he sees the game is very, very quick. He's a great brain for it. That helps in this format.
Bit of a test of that yellow was there for Carl. Just see how he queuing early doors. He won't be overly thankful for the white chip he left him there, but you know, they've made a couple of mistakes in that frame. Like I say, a dry break and a miscue, and they've still got the frame on the board. I think the break come for him at the wrong time. You know, they had the break and everything turned as it can at this game. But you know, he'll bounce back and he'll go again, and I believe, you know, one day he will win that title.
Yeah, I don't think you could have been particularly human if, you know, you could be really pleased for Ronan McCarthy who ended up winning it, but I don't think anybody in that room felt, you know, anything but a feeling of slight disappointment for Carl, because he played so well in that World Championship final. Saw one to lose, but as he said to me afterwards in the arena, he's lost a World Championship before and left it with regrets. He couldn't regret anything because he'd not made a mistake. He was completely at peace with it, which I think's, you know, if you are to lose a final, it's probably the way to lose it.
Let's be honest, like the first time he played in the final, he's playing one of his best mates. I mean, that's
the point in itself. Yeah, the guy he played in his first World Championship final is in the chair right now behind him.
Yeah, and you know, you forget the pool. It's not nice when you're playing your friends, and you know, I'm talking about local leagues and knockouts and stuff. So you know, I haven't got a clue what they must have thought playing each other in the World Singles Final. I mean,
it's good that they've stayed friends since, eh?
Yeah.
He's got options here, Carl.
Yeah, the 8-ball passes in the middle. Will he screw into this red, try and bump it off the rail a little bit here, or will he just screw up to play on it? As he has, he's okay there, just enough. He can just dink this in and just come out. And
often think that's a little, almost in its own way, a bit of a sign of confidence in how he's feeling. The fact that he's not played to bump into it, but backed himself to land on it, which was a tougher shot. Backed himself to make the tricky one down the rail, which he has.
Yeah, and with the table being so slidey, and you know, it's so true. You know, it's not like a club table. You haven't got to worry about rolling that and it rolling off or anything. And pace, you know, at the right pace, it will slide in, and definitely worth playing on them rather than trying to bump it out. It can go anywhere. And there you see, like I said about the first frame, you just don't know when your next chance is coming with these two. Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a warning shot, wasn't it, that first frame?
It's a good format to watch, you know. I'm not a massive fan of playing in it because it's so short, you know, and obviously I've gone in a couple of years with Govy Gill, and you know, I think 1 year we went out without missing a ball, you know, in the 3 matches we didn't win, and obviously this year, you know, Govy's had a few things going on and hasn't been practicing as much, and saw the opportunity to jump in with Chris, who I know, and thought, you know, a bit of a different mindset, really, you know, a bit of enjoyment, sort of, you know, and I really enjoyed it, you know. I didn't get stressy that it wasn't going for us. You have to just laugh, and at a format like this and at this game, sometimes you've just got to think, well, you know, it's not really much we could do. But yeah, it's nice to watch and see what's going on. Definitely less stressful than being out there.
Oh, lovely visit to the table so far here from Wayne and Duncan.
Just needs to negotiate the gap here, doesn't he? Both yellows going to the top. Well, that's okay. We can just pop this and just screw across the face of the red and the 8 ball here for the yellow in the right centre, which he has done nicely. And
that's glorious.
If he's straight, he can just pull back for the 8 ball in the bottom right, which he has. And Carl and Chippy will be relieved that they've got a 3-frame lead with this finish here. Very good visit to the table.
Well, that'll be a nerve settler, if anything. That was an outstanding visit to the table, really, from Wayne and Duncan. That
they'll be a little bit uncomfortable in their chairs right now.
Oh, I don't doubt it, particularly Chippy. 8 ball stays where it is. Needs a ball.
He's got a ball.
All right then. These are wide open too.
Got to take the yellow to the top left first shot. So make yeah. Yellow up to the top left, then deal with these 2 down this, play positional shot on that one, down to this bottom left, last ball in bulk, and the 8 ball, and just don't rush. What a great chance. He's missed it. Oh, he hasn't.
Oh, he just got there. You got to move now then, Duncan.
Yeah,
30 seconds. This is now where you do have to get a wiggle on.
Is he aware of the time? He's not going to do it.
He just took a little bit too long on that first shot.
This was the last ball for me.
It's a great part.
He's got this bottom one. He's lost the match clock, hasn't he? I think he's lost track of the match clock time, unfortunately.
It's just the beeps begin for the 10 seconds, and Sean Chipperfield and Carl Sutton have rather got away with that. Duncan Saxton couldn't quite get it done in time, but they gave them a bit of a fright, and that is a win for Sean Chipperfield and Carl Sutton, but it's also a warning for them. If they are to make it through their 4th consecutive Pairs Cup group stage, they are going to have to play a little bit better than that, I suspect. Second match coming up in a sec. Quite a ripper of a break. That 8 ball goes flying around the table. Got some real zip on this cue ball.
Yeah, cue ball going dangerously close to that corner pocket, but
just shows how much spin you can impart on it when the cue ball goes back up the table off the pack quicker than it came down.
Yeah.
Really rocketed. The foul's been called. We'll have another look at that in just a second. It was called instantly by Oryx Terskel.
Yeah, I think he moved the yellow with his finger. Yeah, there you see, clear as day. Not going to get away with that one with Oryx.
Yeah, doesn't miss a thing, that man.
Good opportunity for Dan. Doesn't need to rush. He looks like he's obviously he's a quick player anyway, but
well, I can imagine. I don't know if this is the pace he always plays at, but if it is, I can imagine when he gets up ahead of steam, he's a pretty intimidating player to play against.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's slow. I don't think he's. I would say he's probably fractionally rushing a little bit quicker than he normally plays, but he gets some, it doesn't matter, does it? So, as you see, an extra bit of adrenaline there, and yeah, he's definitely playing quicker than he normally does, but
just runs here for a good time, not a long time, is Dan Morgan.
He's playing the double now. These tend to slide a little bit, so this will be interesting. But he's took it. Yeah, well played.
What a finish that is from big Dan Morgan.
You need to settle early on this table. The tables can make you look so silly. If you're not at the races, it's so hard to get a grip of the cue ball and everything, and your finishes, even to this day, on the series and everything. You miss doubles, or you slightly run out of position that you never would normally, and every day is sort of a learning day on them. So sometimes you can come, and if you settle straight away, they're beautiful to play on. You know what I mean? They literally feel like you can't miss. But more often than not, can make you look very silly.
Refreshing to hear from one of the best players in the game that it's still not easy out there.
Definitely not.
It's made to look easy plenty of times by you, Rob.
Never seems to be. Never seems to be for me. Everyone seems to fly. If I do fly myself, someone's still holding on to me. Good chance this. Just got to join the dots now, really. Just play this, play the red in the left centre next.
Yeah, with the red down the rail, they could have a pretty natural final ball for the 8 ball if they wanted it. There's plenty of ways to go around this one. There's been a little bit of communication between these two, but nothing too expansive. Oh, just by the hairs of his chinny chin.
Wow.
Dan Morgan very, very nearly misses that one. He sees the funny side. I'm not sure Ian and Simon do.
Proper got into this as well, Probably too much. It's just made it a little bit awkward, this positional shot now. Cleaver's got to punch this in. Wow, he hasn't. He's sort of screwed it, and this is a really tricky shot here for Dan.
Once again, he's straight on it. Not hanging about. This time the red doesn't drop.
Oh, he's had a touch though. Where's he left the cue ball?
It could well be a pretty big second prize.
Can you get
Might
through
be
to
what he's
this
nodding
one?
at.
Can you get through to this down the bottom left? No.
He's playing the kick.
A great shot.
Oh, how about that from Simon Robinson?
Great shot.
Oh, speaking of here for a good time, that was a brilliant shot from Simon. That's not a bad one either from Ian. Leaving it flat on the cushion isn't ideal, but there's a little bit of room there. Yeah, that'll do. And they know they've got to play really quick here. 15-second shot clock, but also 3-0 down.
Yeah,
that's
nicely
nicely played.
Nicely played, that was. It's 8 ball and they're on the board, which will be a bit of a confidence booster for them.
Well, how good a finish was that from Simon and Ian? Absolutely brilliant. Ball stays pretty stationary. It's not a bad cut break, mind. You'd be pretty pleased with that leave on any cut break, really, but no ball down.
You got a ball.
Yeah, no ball down's the bigger issue, of course. Yeah, those have come out beautifully, but for his opponent, Dan Morgan here is going to get a chance to make amends for his miss in the last frame and get this 1-1 and nip the challenge of Begg and Robinson in the bud.
He's gone the wrong way here. I think he's just rushing a little bit. It's like, say, it's all new to him, isn't it? So he's all right now. He's back on the ball that I think he should have took 2 shots ago.
Yeah, he has definitely put the foot down tonight, hasn't he? Almost like a conscious effort. Play quick.
Good shot. Just pop this now down the bottom left. Just dink back. Gonna have to take the 8 ball long to this bottom left. It's just okay, yep. I thought he was going to just roll a little bit too far then, but he's played it nicely. Just coming out from the cushion a little bit here. You can just punch out a little bit.
Just like that. This for the win then for Dan Morgan and Cleve Thompson. In it goes. And a super performance really from Dan and Cleve there. Looked apart for much of that match. I think they'll be really pleased with that, particularly Dan on his first appearance on the main stage with Ultimate Pool. They get themselves in the win column and put the pressure on. They'll be back in a little bit. We will see Ian and Simon back straight away when we return as the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup continues. Back live with the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup, and back in the building, Duncan Saxton and Wayne Wootton, who, well, ran Carl Sutton and Sean Chipperfield pretty close in the opening match of the night. And I wonder, can they get themselves their first win of the evening here in this match? Their opponents, Simon Robinson and Ian Begg, have just been on, defeated by Dan Morgan and Cleve Thompson. This is a crucial stage of the night, as this is a must-win match for both pairings. If you lose this match, you can no longer qualify, so your hopes of advancing through are officially over. Simon Robinson back on the break, so we'll get loads of action in that second match.
Yeah.
We did see that cue ball a little bit loose, and this time it goes straight in the hole, so it's going to be Saxton and Wootton with first poke at these. Stephen Jameson and Rob Warren with you on the Pairs Cup, live around the world.
Yeah, he got away with it last match, didn't he? But not that time, straight in. Gives a great first opportunity.
And I think the performance that Duncan and Wayne put in that first match, they can be pretty pleased with. But there were just some little things to, I think, take note of, and I think for Wayne in particular, who's obviously a very, very good player, maybe just slowing down a little bit. And for Duncan, maybe speeding up a little. Maybe sort of meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, it's a great sign for anyone that fancies a go at it next year. I mean, they were one frame off a draw, and then going in, they'd be in a big position if they win this match now. So it was just a slight lack of experience, I believe. That, I mean, there was a minute on the clock when they broke, and obviously it's a lot easier sat here in the commentary box, and I've been used to playing quick for years, and now under the clock formats, but straight away I've seen the finish, and I think he had more than enough time to get down and get them. There wasn't much travelling, but sort of just lost track of the time, and didn't get anywhere near, did he, in the end? But they can obviously play a bit. They took out another nice finish there, and
all they've done so far is an in off the break from Simon Robinson. Ian Begg looking to get that cut break working, as he did pretty well the last time he hit it.
8 balls moving, but
still no friends. It's another nice split though.
Not quite creaming on, is he? It's just.
Of course, there was a little look there between the two of them. Bit of a wry smile from Simon Robinson, which almost said, "Oh, we could be 3-0 down here and we've not played a shot." That's the sort of form that you expect. But they're going to get a go. Duncan Saxton with the miss. And it brings Ian Begg to the table for a pretty important frame in his pairings night. This was a tough shot for Duncan, but he'll be gutted he's not made it.
He wasn't on much if he'd gone, to be honest. Left a good chance. Got a little bit of work to do, obviously. He's
wants to bounce. If it just springs up another foot, I think he'd have been grateful, but these Reds are sort of half there, but there is some work to be done. His next shot, though, could be pretty expansive. Has he got to go up to the top left here, Wacko?
He's got a shot up the top left. I think that's about it. Just run into the red. Don't hit it too hard. Just, back yourself to get the pot.
Pretty natural position and cannon. How's the pot? Just a little wide.
He's on the better colour though, so bit of work to do here.
Yeah, the yellow on the left side rail is on a bit of an island really for Duncan Saxton. How he goes about moving that or making it is going to be key to try and winning this frame.
Yeah, the yellow in the sort of bulk end of the table as well is not easy. It goes in the right centre, but needs getting on. Could have done with getting on that that shot then, I think, really, and then working his way down the table. Now, has he got the angle here to... How can he play it off the red? Bit of paste on the white. Or can he... I don't think he's quite got enough angle to go into the yellow, but yeah, there you see he had. And I think he's just alright, but he doesn't want that to be last ball because he won't get on the yellow off that because he's such a cute shot. So,
well, I think at worst it's a much easier double than it was.
He's chose to go up the top end now, and if it pulls up, that's okay. I think he can just float this in and possibly use this red down the bottom left to hold. Might even have a shot at the yellow then next in the centre, or take it long. A little bit pacey, it's alright. You're just going to have to, for me, I'm just screwing straight back and taking that yellow long, taking my medicine. Could even play it off the red if you land dead on the cushion.
Yeah, he's gearing himself up for a big shot, isn't he? It's not going to be this one, it's going to be the one after. Be amazed if he took it now. Yeah, he's going to take it next.
As I say, the table plays, so quick and so true. You can float that down the rail and have every confidence that it will hold its line. Oh, he chose to play it in the centre. Tough from there. Cross double. Oh, it's definitely come back and take that long, I think.
Yeah, this is a big shot. He may still be taking it long. Yeah, he was.
It's not going to reach, is it? Oh, well, it had a go. It just seemed to have a little dink back in there then, didn't it?
It did a little bit, didn't it?
And obviously at these rules we play now, doesn't really do him a massive load of favours as the skill shot's still an option.
Yeah, I am, however, a little surprised seeing play safe, especially like that, because it's just a one cushion this, and I think you'd expect Duncan to get this.
I don't know
maybe
if the one
more
cushion,
than 50% of the
if
time.
he can get through the gap with a bit of swerve, then fair enough. I don't think the one cushion. Oh, there you see.
Saxton.
So it was a right shot in hindsight. Yeah, I was quite surprised to see it myself. I thought he'd have been going at the way the score was in the match and stuff, but good chance now to get on the board, and
It's just all about holding yourself together here. Still plenty of time in the match because of how quick those first two frames were taken out.
just that extra roll on just makes position all of a sudden. You're running away from you. It's so easily done on this table. You just see where you just drop that ball in, then you get that extra sort of foot roll. It's like glass.
Yeah. Well, jinx.
And all of a sudden, the easiest to finish, and you've got to start working around with the cue ball, and just okay. But that's when mistakes can happen, when you start chasing the position. It's it's easily done, especially on this table.
Yeah, plays completely different to any sort of club or league table that you'd be used to playing on down your local club. But in the end, bit of a reroute, but he's going to get there, and that will be a bit of a shot in the arm for Ian Begg. And his partnership needed that.
Nicely played, though. He's played that really well.
He's really impressed me, to be honest, Wayne. I think he's been excellent tonight. Oh, he got a little bit lackadaisical there, though.
He got a little bit of a commentator's curse, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have just dropped it in and took it long, couldn't he? And he chose to screw back for the 8 ball in the centre and give it way too much more than needed, and
yeah, just a little bit of rush of blood there. Just catches the jaw, which sort of kills him.
yeah, he hit it miles too hard, hasn't he? So
That's a good
I'll
shot.
tell you what, really nice shot.
Well, could he be made to regret that?
Yeah, draw's not really any good to either pair, is it? So
Well, yeah, but what you were saying, you know, all of a sudden now becomes very, very pertinent, because if Wayne Wootton used his full extent of the shot clocks that are available to him, we're maybe looking at maybe less than a minute left, and all of a sudden,
100%.
best part of 2.
He's potted what, 6 balls there and missed the 8th ball, and he's, you know, yeah, he could have took off another minute off this clock easy, and then all of a sudden,
Miss hit the break. Is it dry? It is, and Simon
No,
Robinson.
it's
Oh, it's not. Simon Robinson back in his chair.
always going in that yellow was from about, yeah. Well, and I tell you what
Well, he doesn't
a
need to
layout
rush
as
here,
well.
Duncan.
No, again,
Is it
again,
just
they're
a case of-
they're 3-2 up. He won't even, if he takes his time and wastes the clock, he won't even get to finish them. But they're 3-2 up. They don't need to finish the match.
Yeah, I think he's missed a trick here. I think, yeah, Wayne's just told him, call your extension. And actually here, Duncan, relax, you've got 20 seconds. Take your time. Of course, if he gets them, it doesn't matter, but it's a little bit like, it's a little bit of an insurance policy.
He doesn't, and the further he gets, I mean, if he pots these 3 reds and then misses his last ball and there's 40 seconds on the clock, if he misses his last ball, if he uses the clock, then there's no time whatsoever, and all of a sudden, well, I think he's just going to get away with it, because I think that red, well, you see, it does go in the left centre. But yeah,
There's some match clock learnings maybe for Duncan to take into account for the final match, which will be very relevant for them because it's going to be live. They may need a favour in this next match, you suspect, but they've done their part. They've stayed alive in this night. They'd love to win it 4-2. They may well get the chance to do it. Carl Sutton keeping an eye on proceedings. And that is a very tidy finish in the end. Beats the buzzer for a 4-2 victory. As Saxton and Wootton climb the table with a win. They stay alive in the evening. They've still got one more big match to play. Next up, the winners from round 1 face each other. Sutton and Chipperfield are back. So too Thompson and Morgan. It's next. Welcome back to the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup as we welcome Sean Chipperfield back into the arena. Rides that centre pocket, but gets nothing down. So good news, bad news for him. Dry break for Chippy to kick things off. That reaction's pretty brilliant. He's a little bit known for that sort of break, Sean. He's not got the most consistent of breaks. He chops and changes a lot. As we see Dan Morgan and Cleve Thompson back at the table as they discuss where they want to go, and early extension called. And then, do your thing. Love that. That's a nice little shot. Sometimes I think that's all that needs to be said sometimes, Rob, isn't it? Just go on, mate. Do your thing.
Do your thing, yeah. I thought I was like, you know, sort of always let my partners get on with it and try not to interfere too much.
Yeah, it's a very easy game to overthink.
Can he just stun into the shallow here?
Yeah, possibly. I wonder if they could leave it because it does go to the top left. They obviously want to be straighter on it because if they played it now, they'll straighten off. But it's not an inaccessible ball, and they could leave it till last. From here, I'm almost certain they are.
Yeah.
To leave it at distance, though.
Well, he's going to leave it as about as awkward as it could be. Just run this through a couple of inches. Just leave the red straight. Just cue it in. Certainly a tester when you've got them two men sat in the seats over there.
Yeah, first frame of the match against the group favourites. Knock this in for 1-0.
No.
Oh, is he going to fluke it?
Wow.
Well. No reaction from the top left of your screen. There's a little bit of reaction in the top right. Dan Morgan doesn't know where to look. And Cleve Thompson adds the icing.
Yeah, Carl hasn't really made a mistake, has he, this evening so far? So
sort of continuing where he sort of last left off with us, really. Last time we saw him on our screens was at the World Championships. It's been a little while since then. Told us in his interview earlier that he'd taken a little bit of time off afterwards, which is completely understandable with how much he put into that championships, not just in the individuals, but he was England's best player in the team event, which they ended up taking down. It's an exhausting couple of weeks in Blackpool, let alone putting a Pro Series right before it as well. He's been a busy bee.
certainly has.
But looks a confident player right now, does Carl Sutton. And a confident Carl Sutton is a very, very dangerous opponent. Yeah, well, he's got 6 seconds to figure out what he wants to do. That is something that Carl will be pretty open about, saying sometimes he wishes he had more time. Not the quickest player. He can get up to pace when it's all there for him, but sometimes, even by his own admission, just takes him a minute just to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see an easy route here, isn't it? He's played a great effort there.
He's in a little bit of trouble. He's in a little bit of trouble.
It's a massive game, this is, as well. You sort of like getting enthralled in the match, and you know, both these pairs are on a win, and whoever loses here will be needing the result to go for them in the last. So
yeah, and the issue they've got is, and we'll be playing on, I'm sure, both of their minds, which is why the win will be so valuable here, and why the loss is so potentially devastating, is they'll both be heavy favourites going into that last round of matches.
yeah, definitely. So it's a massive match, this.
Dan Morgan to the table, then Carl tucks up and asks the question. And I get the sense that Dan's not going to hold back here. He looks like an aggressive player. That's a pretty good shot just to open reds up. I think Carl will look to try and play some kind of lost turn, maybe at the top left of the table. He could also just play a simple one to the right middle if he wanted to as well.
He could pot that in, put his yellow down the top right and put the cue ball down on this back rail.
This is where Carl can really try and use all that guile and expertise that he's got. He's a very, very clever player. This frame, if we played world rules right now, we were in a tactical frame, Carl was one of those sorts of players that you almost knew you just couldn't beat. He was so good at that rule set. Often jokes to me about how he wishes we still played it. But even in these rules, you can still find a way to make the game play at your pace. And I think Dan having a go at these is exactly what Carl wants to see.
He's got half a chance though, hasn't he? For me, I'm playing this one in the centre now and I'm pulling back to try and leave an angle on this one down the bottom of the table to punch into the yellow and red. Got to watch you don't knock the 8 ball in. Can he force top through? I just can't see that the red's going to come out. Yeah, just where the red was glued to the yellow, I just play that 20 times and it might come out once. Has he got a double? Can he get the white out of the way for the cross double?
Well, he's a big man, Dan Morgan, and he'll need to be if he wants to play that shot. Almost Chinese snookered over this red. Not too bad, actually. You can almost see the centre of the cue ball. I thought that'd be a little bit more awkward, but I don't think it's too bad. It's more about, can he get the cue ball out of the way? He could.
Yeah,
The double wasn't there.
Not sure he could to get the double, you know.
Yeah.
He played it thin, so that's why obviously the cue ball got out of the way. I don't think he could get... No, looking at that, he definitely couldn't.
But for Carl, that's exactly the game he just played. He played the percentages. That out for Dan was really, really tough.
Just come a little bit too far there, Carl. Just a little grimace, hasn't he looked? He's on the yellow, but he's going to have to take his medicine with his next shot. He would have liked to have a little bit more angle on this. A little bit closer to his work. Just digging down in. Nice shot. Oh, he's played that well.
Hasn't he just? Interesting to see Sean get up and take a look at the line as well. Both of them very invested in each other's frames. As I mentioned earlier on, this a crucial match. Winner of this goes odds-on favourite to win the group.
Good
That's
shot.
well played.
Yeah, nice
How
shot.
well executed
Very
was that?
nice shot.
8 ball still needs making, mind. Looks like it's one of those you'd love to be right behind, and he can get there. He's taking it to the middle.
Yeah, I think it looks more difficult than it is on the camera, to be honest. I think he's okay.
And he's come round to look at it in the middle. Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
No.
Little fiddly, but you'd expect to make this. And then it goes. Carl Sutton wins a crucial frame. Sean Chipperfield in the position he wants to be in. 2 frames clear, 2.5 minutes on the clock. And, you know, we've talked about the clock a lot tonight and how well it's managed and all the rest of it.
He's having a mare on his
Sean
break tonight, isn't he?
Chipperfield would have been the man you wanted to manage it from this stage on, but scratches the break and, well, can Dan Morgan do something special? A draw isn't the end of the world for Dan and Cleve here. So it's only 2 frames they really need.
Well, yeah, draws massively low, isn't it? Draw.
Well, draw shrinks the odds of a 6-row shootout, son. Big shot here. He's okay.
Could take that one long now, surely. Oh, he's on perfect on the one where he's queuing over now. Plant. Play the plant.
That must be.
He's got her, I think.
Yeah, that'll do. How
got
about
it.
that for threading the needle?
8 ball's tough, isn't it? But if you can leave him an angle.
Well, he could go into it now, but he's got to play that yellow to the middle.
It takes some queuing to get into that now from here. I think it's too... I think it was too thin, but how's he gonna take his medicine, drop this in, double the 8 ball into the corner, bottom right.
Yeah, that's what he's seen.
Just pop this now and just stun into that red, just like pull back into that red. Leaves the natural angle, but like I say, doubles are, there you go, doubles are a lot harder on this table. Doesn't want to hit this too hard, but if he hits it too soft, it will just slide to the back rail. And as you see,
60 seconds left. Sean Chipperfield can run this out. This match is over. Dan Morgan had his chance there. It wasn't easy. I did just wonder, you know, if there was an option to maybe move that 8 ball, possibly with this yellow on the break line, whether we could go into it, but very easy to say from our vantage point, and certainly not running around the table trying to pop balls with 15 seconds on the clock. You can see there Sean instantly took an extension, waited till the beeps, and this match is done. You can see there Cleve give him a bit of stick because he's taken a while, but this is the aim of the game. And this match is over. Sean Chipperfield and Carl Sutton get the win. a crucial win against Cleve Thompson and Dan Morgan, and that puts them in the driver's seat. They just need to avoid defeat in their final match tonight, and they're through another Pairs Cup group stage. Oh, but they're riding their luck a little. Welcome back. Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup on your screens on your Monday nights. And right now, Dan Morgan and Cleve Thompson itching to make amends for their last match. If they win this, they stay in the hunt. So to these two. Winner of this can still qualify. Loser is out. But they are both reliant in that scenario of Sean Chipperfield and Carl Sutton dropping points against Ian Begg and Simon Robinson, who are pointless after the opening 2 matches. It is a long shot, but strange things have happened in this tournament, and at this point you've still got to believe, get yourself a win and just put the pressure on. Carl Sutton and Sean Chipperfield's job is pretty simple. When they come to it, they just need to avoid defeat, and they, for the 4th successive year, qualify out of their Pairs Cup group. Steve Jameson and Rob Warren with you this Monday evening, and it's been a good Monday as well. Enjoyed the action tonight, some good stuff being played. It's swung to and fro. Each match has felt like it's hung a bit on a knife edge until it's eventually been decided.
I think before the evening started, Carl and Chippy were, massive favourites, but both matches they've played, they could have lost really, and they've got away with 2 wins, so they'll be over the moon, and they're massively in the driving seat now, aren't they? Just got to do the business in the last game, and as you say, through 4th consecutive group. As you see, an easy miss there.
Oh, left one out there of Saxton and Wootton, that's for sure. Ball is close. Less than ideal that for Cleve Thompson.
Yeah, big shot this.
And a big wide.
Yeah, tough shot there, tough shot.
It was, for sure.
I feel maybe that loss in the last game was just knocked the wind out of the sails of Cleve and Dan. It was a massive game. Bit of work to do here to get around to the 8 ball. Oh, he's played a nice shot here.
How's he? Oh, some line to find that, isn't it? Just on the cushion if you're splitting hairs. This is an 8 ball that needs a bit of care, but Duncan Saxton has got to fancy himself here. And then it slides. I think Wayne Wootton, not for the first time tonight, can feel pretty aggrieved that he's not made a ball. He's probably broken the best out of anybody in the group tonight. It's been pretty consistent with that break. And when you break well and are dry, you're only turning your good chance over to your opponent. First shot might be the toughest day for Cleve. The rest of the table's nice.
He's going to have to play that red in the middle, isn't he? Tricky. Really tricky. Going to have to take his medicine and go for it. Tough shot.
Yeah, no hiding place really.
Yeah, good shot.
Really good pot there, Cleve.
Nice shot. And again, nicely played. It's natural angle now just to float this one in down the bottom rail and just come up for that red, work back down the table. Possibly that the one in this bottom right that it looks like he's going to play now, possibly be leaving that for last ball, to be honest. He's just come up a little bit too far. He could have come up for the one in the left centre, then took the one to the top right, run through top left, and then leave himself this ball he's going to play now for the last ball to connect to the 8 ball, but looks like he's going to just asking for the red ball to be cleaned. He's going to make sure, he needs to make sure he comes back enough here. Straight would be perfect. Just okay, maybe. Just okay. Yeah, nice shot.
Yeah, slightly different way of going about it than yours, but he's taking these out pretty smoothly. And if you're leaving this shot as your red to 8 ball, oh, just to say that, you still got to execute it.
Yeah,
it's a really surprising miss.
Still it was tricky though. You still got to cue that and not give up, and he sort of like give up on the shot, and that's why he was a lot, easier way. I think that's what makes the top players, so consistently good, because they don't make them mistakes. They make the finish as easy as possible, and just I know it's not easy on the match clock and with the thinking, but at 30 seconds it's not really an excuse. You can pick the right order, and I think the ball he took 4 from last was definitely his last ball.
Oh, Wayne's in a bit of bother as he is. Is it a plant?
He's got to play the plant. Yeah, nice.
The cue ball is fine. Dancing with the devil a little bit here is Wayne Wootton.
Struggling here now though, because he can't really get anywhere on it. As long as he gets through enough, he can take the yellow by the centre long, just float it in, use the knuckle with the white, just to hold for this other yellow. So just float it. Could possibly play it full ball off the rail and in off the red. It's a big pocket. Oh, nice shot, very nice shot.
Yeah, executed that
He's
well.
played well.
Yeah, been by and large very impressive, Wayne, tonight. I think he's been excellent. Two 2-1, they lead. 7 minutes to go and ticking. Another crunching break from Wayne Wootton. Needs a ball. Isn't going to get one. Dan Morgan's going to have a swing at these.
Just dropped in. Good shot. Just use the pocket. Just a little bit awkward there, queuing, but I think he can just. He can play the plant in the centre if he doesn't want to take the yellow long. Oh, he's missed it. So a chance was. Doesn't need to rush again. We're in the final. I said before, we're in the final 5 minutes, so he can use his time and doesn't need to rush. 3-1 up.
Yeah, but you get the sense that these two are just going to do plan A. So far, plan A has worked.
doesn't he take his time a little bit?
Especially on a tough finish as well. This isn't exactly a gimme.
He's been watching Chippy too much, I think. He could have shaved another minute off this.
Oh, what a change from...
Shot.
2 years ago, this is
he's got it
from...
long as well. He's had a flick. He's on it long. Tough shot, but this goes in and it's a match winner. No, you see.
And there, that conversation begins again. If he'd have taken his time, this match is all but done.
Yeah.
But still 1 minute 45 on the clock.
Should have been less than a minute on the clock.
But the margins are tight in Pairs Cup groups. It does not take much. That is a fabulous shot. And he's got a bit of run that he deserved.
As a result there. Didn't need to go into him quite as hard, but it got out nice for him.
Yeah, Dan definitely benefits from playing quickly. This is the right thing to do. All right, ball down, 1 minute 12 left on the watch, 3-2. They need 2 frames, Cleve and Dan here.
So, you know, with these guys that haven't really played on this much and this you know, the match clock and stuff, then you can't really criticise too much. As we see an absolute sledge.
How do you like that for a cut break from Cleve Thompson?
I mean, where's that been all night, Cleve?
Yeah, he's got a shift here as the big man, and he's going to.
Cleve auditioning for Strictly here, dancing around the table.
Well, this will be one of the quicker clearances we've seen in a very long time if he gets the skates on here.
If he's Saxton and Wootton.
Oh,
well.
he needed that though.
Wow.
He needed that.
Oh dear. Cleve.
Duncan Saxton and Wayne Wootton breathe a sigh of relief. Carl Sutton and Sean Chipperfield there will also be pretty disappointed. As the draw was very much in play there. If Cleve had knocked those off, they'd have only had not very long at all to go and win the match in the decider. Just has to play a shot here and this match is over. Duncan Saxton, and he knocks it in for posterity as well. The towel thrown in by Dan Morgan and Cleve Thompson. This game is over. Wayne Wootton and Darren Saxton have improved upon their performance from 2 years ago, where they went 0-3 in their Pairs Cup experience. They've won 2 matches this time around, and they are in the hunt for qualification. They now need a favour from their friends. The final match of Group 9 is next. Welcome back to the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. All eyes on Sean Chipperfield and Carl Sutton. And Simon Robinson breaks off with a thunderbolt, really, to get us going in our 6th and final match of the evening. This is the lay of the lands. Begg and Robinson are out. They can no longer qualify, but they can cause a bit of a stir, and that is if they win this match. It would be their first win of the night, their first Ultimate Pool win, and if they can do that, it will force Carl Sutton and Sean Chipperfield into a 6-red shootout with Wayne Wootton and Duncan Saxton, but they're not going to win this match missing shots like that.
Left the perfect angle here for the shot as well for Chippy or Carl to pop the yellow in the top right and just disturb their bad ball out, and away they can go.
I think that was probably a part of the thinking for Ian Begg there, trying to pot that yellow as thick as he dared.
Not played that very well at all over there, Sean. Not had his best night, has he, tonight, Chippy?
Yeah, all relative, of course. We hold Sean to exceptionally high standards, and yeah, by his very own high standards, he'll be a bit disappointed with how he's played tonight. This is clever.
Flick off this with a bit of left-hand side, kick the yellow in. As long as that yellow that they're playing doesn't cover the other yellow into the pocket.
That's
As they don't block each other.
Lovely bit of vision and a lovely bit of execution. Sean sees it, Carl plays it, and now everything is wide open.
Yeah, nice shot.
Thought for a horrible second Sean was going to play out a turn there when he was lining that one up, but I think he was just making sure it went. Sometimes you can only see by being right behind the shot yourself.
Yeah. Just swing around the back of this red here. Okay, he's checked it up and played for the yellow in the centre. Clever shot. I didn't realise it didn't go in the top right. I think it must be tight. Good start from Carl and Chippy this, just to settle any nerves.
Well, it's a weird match, this one. It's a match they're very used to, having won 3 of these groups as a pair, let alone anything they've done in the Champions League as individuals. But this match is the awkward one, because you've done all the hard work, you've got yourself in the position where you just don't have to lose. But it's a very different dynamic. It's a dynamic you're not used to as a pool player, having something to lose. And many a player has remarked on how difficult this game can be, regardless of the opponent you've got to play. Cut break successful for Ian. 8 balls close, but not home.
Yeah, where that 8 ball's gone makes that problem red on that yellow pretty unmissable. Just take this red down the back rail now, just dink back roughly to where the cue ball is now. Play the red in the centre and a great chance to get back in this match. I'm not sure why he's taking it first shot. I'm really surprised he's played that first shot. Why not play the ball down the back rail first and eliminate that ball down the back rail? Well. He's missed the red. Oh, Chippy at the table. It was a slight miscue there, you know.
It looks that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a nice shot from Sean Chipperfield.
Lovely shot.
Really classy shot, that. Yeah, it's been a bit of a tough night for Ian and Simon. I think you're right. Neither of them have played as much pool as they'd have actually wanted to in tonight's action.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure Simon's had a single frame, apart from the Scotches. And he's been 8-balled 3 times, he's played 3 matches. I don't think he's had a frame of singles, because they haven't got that far in any matches. So, has he travelled far?
I think Hertfordshire was what he was telling me, Andrew. I could be wrong on that, though.
Okay.
There's definitely some merit to it, isn't there?
Well, yeah, because even if they get out the snooker and pot the yellow, it's going to be a very tough 8-ball. Trouble is with this, you're putting all your... I'm not sure they'd be playing this if it was 1 each, you know.
Yeah, agreed. But this is essentially match ball.
Yeah, and
wow.
It's not a normal double on here. I've said it all night. There's a sweet spot. It's very like you play them slow and they slide like mad. You play them hard and they straighten up like mad. And there's a little sweet spot. And again, it's something that if you can bottle.
That's a pretty good shot, that from Simon. He's got Ian as good as he can be on this. Shots. Dead straight from Ian Begg. We're in the
Cue ball
15-second shot clock part of the match as well. Oh, he flushes this break.
Oh no!
Oh, you got to feel for him. You really do.
Oh, it's just not Unite. It's not Unite, is it? I mean, he's hit that nice.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Straight up the line. No France. And a very good layout. I think. Oh, I don't know. The 8-ball's gone a little bit smelly there. And now, can he play this yellow first shot and top into the red and 8-ball? Pretty sure he can. Which, is he just going to kill the time and make sure they get the victory?
Well, is there a 3-ball plan? Rob, he could maybe play now. I mean, I don't think he will. It's a bit of an out there sort of a shot, but looks a little bit offset to me. It's a lot harder. Making sure that cue is fully chalked. Oh, you saw how close he missed that by. Not a lot. Now he's digging.
And he's all right here because he could just dink across this one now and leave himself an angle on this one on the right hand side of the table. To just, there you see, perfect. Just to knock into that 8-ball and red now and. Yeah, nice shot. Great shot. And he's on this one down here as well, which is a bonus.
Yeah, should be the match winner and indeed the night winner, the group winner. I think it will be.
Remarkable. 4 years in a row, get through the group.
Right, some performance from Sean Chipperfield and Carl Sutton. Simon Robinson shares a giggle with Carl. I think he's completed a full Pairs Cup night without getting to the table in a singles frame. Tough one for Simon and Ian, but what a performance from Sean Chipperfield and Carl Sutton. They have done it again. 4 straight years they have ran the gauntlet in the Pairs Cup group. They're turning themselves into celebrities, and why not with performances like that. Carl and Sean are into the last 16 once again, and we will see them in a little bit as the celebrations begin for the Beasts from the East. We'll speak to them when we return.